Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane. And before we dive into this reading, this Supermoon reading, I want to make the announcement that I am open to private readings. So if you are interested in a private reading, if you are interested in a private personalized meditation or a pet healing, come check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It will also be linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me be seen by the YouTube algorithm gods, which I have upset because I had to take time off to take care of sick family members. So thank you so much for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. It means the absolute world to me. If you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound that can be easier to hear if you raise the volume. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this August 1st supermoon. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Here we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But Cancer, things could be very money focused during this time, especially I would say this is a person with female energy. They don't necessarily have to be female, but the the way that spirit sees them, okay, rather feminine energy, even the way they fight, it's going to be a little bit, not I'm going to tell you what I'm upset about. It's going to be more, you should kind of, all the stereotypes, right? You should know what I'm feeling, the sense of character destruction instead of, just saying what they mean type of thing. So just be aware of this energy and of this person because they don't have to be female, all right? And they don't even have to be an earth sign. They can have a lot of earth sign energy in their chart, and that's why this is coming out. But their energy vibration as well, it doesn't resonate with yours. So there's a sense here of we're not connecting, and you kind of feel guilty for that. You're like, well, we should be connecting. This is either such a nice person to everybody else, or I should be doing better. And it's like, no, if you don't jive with this person, if your energies don't connect, that's not your problem. It's like spirit saying, okay, let's move on. Let's move on from here instead of trying to make things work when they're just not going to. And if we're working with this person and we have to work with this person, coming to an understanding, you know what, we just don't get on, and I can accept that, I can respect that, and I'll, do what I need to do to get through the situation and move myself forward. That's also going to be very beneficial during the supermoon. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show, oh goodness, and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Okay. So here we have compassion, and it's not surprising at all, Cancer, that you are very attuned and, connected with your compassion. And Spirit is saying here, embrace compassion, embrace love, embrace harmony, and that's really going to be what moves you forward. That sense of connection of the heart and connection of where you need to be in your life. So that's going to be really important here. Having compassion with others, but also having compassion with yourself, opening up that door because the love, it's just flowing. And that's a really beautiful thing. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. One more. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, okay, two more. You see all that? Oh, brilliant. All right. So before we dive into the tarot, let's talk about this time astrologically speaking. So the supermoon is on August 1st and it is in Aquarius. Now this supermoon, we have two supermoons in the month of August, so this is a very very special month. We have it at the beginning of the month on the 1st of August and we have it at the end of the month on the 30th of August. This full moon is at 9 degrees 15 minutes of Aquarius. And this full moon, of course, is opposite the sun. So they're both opposite each other. This makes for very powerful energy. Aquarius energy is all about communication, collaboration. It's grassroots, it's growing things from the ground up. You might even find that you have a really green thumb during this time. That's what Spirit is showing me. It's about the mind, it's about intellect, and it's also about innovation. So, really tapping into that energy is going to be very beneficial for us. Now, with the sun is in Leo. The energy of Leo is more heart energy. So it's letting our heart energy shine, it's letting our lives shine. There's always a there's a sense here, especially if you're born on the cusp with Leo or you have strong Leo in your chart, there's a sense of I know I'm supposed to shine. I know I'm supposed to live brightly, live out loud. That's going to be so important for you here, Cancer. So, what we have here is we have the head and the heart kind of in conflict with each other. And depending on where we are in our journey and how we are moving forward in our journey, really depends on how this conflict plays out with us. We do have, again, that energy of the Queen of Pentacles not being right for us. So, there's a sense here that we can be looking at things prosperously and really be questioning the way that we move forward. There's also, we're beginning with a Knight of Cups, reversed, and then we're ending with the Knight of Swords reversed. There's a sense of stagnation. There's a sense of not wanting to move forward. And when we do move forward, there's an air of restlessness around things. So just pay attention to this, especially with the heart and the head conflict, because you're going to want to be astoundingly logical about things. But one of your superpowers here, Cancer, is really connecting with that heart energy, because this is a time to move out of the strict logic based way of doing things that can keep us stuck and into the heart, because love is the most transformative force in the whole entire universe, and that's really going to be where we're stepping into. Now, we have the largest asteroid in our whole entire solar system, which is Caraclaw. And I do apologize if I'm saying that wrong. And this is Chiron's wife. So Caraclaw is conjunct the supermoon, which brings this beautiful, sacred, energy of holding sacred space in silence, in quiet. The quiet is going to be really important. And it's also about bringing healing forward, healing people. And that's what Caraclaw did, is she held sacred space, she embraced the silence, and she could heal. She helped people heal and transform. Now, the North Lunar Node, okay, wait, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So, Caraclaw combined with Aquarius Moon, this really helps us move forward without judgment. So, we're going to find from the 1st of August to the 30th of August, we are letting go of a lot of judgments. We're letting go of a lot of harshness, ferocity, intensity that we just don't want in our lives. Now, the North Lunar Node is also conjunct the dwarf planet Eris. Eris, in mythology, is the warrior sister of Mars, and Eris leads us to truth, justice, equality, and really leads us to standing in our own power. So that's going to be absolutely brilliant during this time. Mars is conjunct Jupiter, right? And I'm just hearing you're having a bit of problems with Jupiter energy. Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius. I don't have any Sagittarius coming forward in this reading, but there's a sense that there's something with money here. It's with Jupiter. It's a little bit amplified during this time. So just be aware of that, Cancer. It can be money is just amplified during this time. It's a little bit more in our face. So Mars is conjunct Jupiter, which has us fighting for beliefs and for our beliefs and what we see as correct. Note that we can find this a little bit irritating because everybody is fighting for their beliefs and what they see as correct, and it may not always line up with us. So we can find people to be very opinionated, and people can find us to be very opinionated. So just be aware of this. Venus is conjunct the Grand Trine. Now, the Grand Trine is absolutely beautiful. It is a visionary energy. It brings a visionary time. It brings inspiration, and it is astoundingly powerful. Saturn is conjunct Mercury, which helps us focus our mind and stay on track. And that's going to be very important for us. We're going to really be looking at things and saying, okay, how do I get this done? How do I move things forward? How do I get to where I need to be? And remember, Cancer, you're ruled by the moon. So a supermoon, which just amplifies everything, is so intense. The next moon on the 30th is not only a supermoon, but it is also a blue moon. So you're going to see here that the month of August is just so intense for you. It is so, so powerful. And with the Saturn conjunct Mercury energy helping us focus our minds, helping us lay things out, kind of really see the way that we want to be moving forward is going to be very beneficial. Now, Uranus is squared Venus. This brings a little bit of tricky energy. So if you're in a relationship, you can really feel like you want more freedom, more independence. So if you're feeling this way, know that it's, written in the stars. Don't berate yourself. Let yourself have these feelings and let yourself act towards really releasing the energy that's keeping you stuck. Okay, in a situation that makes you feel like you're tied to something. You don't want to be tied to things during this time. Yes, if we have children and pets and, responsibilities, partners, we're tied to that. But there's a need in our relationships, especially with our partners, to have freedom and to have our autonomy. That's going to be very important. If we're not in a relationship, what's really interesting about this time is that it can bring someone into our lives completely out of the blue and very opposite from us, very different from us. And yeah, so that's just going to be fun. Like somebody we would never expect or never even look at other times. This time it's going to be like, oh, well, this is interesting. Financially, this can bring financial volatility, and we already have that with the Queen of Pentacles. Nothing bad. We don't have to be worried. We don't have to be scared. It just means kind of mind your P's and Q's, like watch your money. All right. Now, Jupiter is squared the sun and the moon, which makes things much bigger, much more dramatic during this time, and can lead to complexity because not complexity, it can lead us to leaving behind complexity because Jupiter is in Taurus, and Taurus energy likes to have things very straightforward. Okay, that's why I'm getting Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And yeah, okay, so that's coming forward here. So just know that energy of things becoming bigger. And it's kind of you're linked to Taurus energy somehow. Sagittarius energy because of Jupiter, but Jupiter is in Taurus. And so there's going to be a grounding of things during this time. That's what Spirit was showing me. Very interesting. And we're going to be coming back down to earth. We're going to be looking at things and being rather practical. And that's a good thing. We have here, and we're crowned with judgment. Judgment is telling us to step in our own power. There's a sense of a part of us awakening. During this supermoon, there's a sense of we're coming out of hibernation. We're looking at things, and it's not a I can't do this mentality. It's like, well, why didn't I ever think I could do this before? Like, why did I doubt myself? It's time to move forward. It's time to go after what we want, what we desire, what we're looking for in our lives, and really open up that door. It leads us here because we're hearing a call during this time. Don't be afraid, Cancer. If you're hearing a call, if you feel drawn to something, if you're, dreaming about things, a lot of things will come to you in your dreams, opening up doors, a sense of needing to move forward. It's interesting because we can feel our movement forward being really stagnant, but we can also be wanting to achieve quite a lot. Now, we're represented by the cups in the minor arcana. And here, with the Knight of Cups reversed, we can feel overwhelmed by emotions. This can be a time where our emotions can just wave over us. And again, this will last from full moon to full moon. There is a need to connect with our heart chakra. Okay, sitting in our heart energy is going to be very, very, very important. There's also a need here to connect with our liver energy in Qigong. And connecting with our liver energy is where a lot of our anger is held. There is something here where in matters of the heart, there's anger or there's disappointment. It's held in the liver. I highly recommend tapping your tailbone, just tapping on the back of your tailbone. I have Spring Forest Qigong linked in the description box below. If you would like to participate in that, they have free classes here on YouTube, which is fantastic. But releasing that negativity is going to be so beneficial for you. And you can find that the floodgates start. There's something here. I just see you releasing so much, and I can see that it brings on tears. So just be aware of that. Be aware that there's a questioning of following the heart, following the way forward of what you love. So also, understanding this is going to be important as well. We can feel like we're not making the progress that we want to make, and it can be very overwhelming to us. So acknowledging this, understanding this, and moving forward in our energy and acceptance of ourselves, again, a very powerful thing. But we can feel just a little bit wobbly during this time. It leads us to the Empress. The Empress is again embracing the heart chakra, embracing the liver energy. And what we're going to see here is a release of a lot of the negativity that has been holding us back. We're stepping into our sacred feminine space. And there's a sense here also of as I step into that sacred feminine space, I'm releasing my prosperity. And Spirit's like, why? Why? It is time to see yourself as a prosperous, powerful person, to embrace your wealth and to embrace what you desire. There's huge movement forward, and yet you're having a hard time taming the horse. I don't know exactly what that means, but I do know, I don't know if somebody, okay, why I'm saying I don't know what that means is because I can see somebody taming a horse, like literally taming a horse. But there's also a sense of I am having trouble taming the wildness within me. And it doesn't mean that we're acting on it. It means that we're frustrated with our soul wanting to move forward in a certain direction and feeling stagnant and stuck, feeling held back. So being aware of this is going to be super, super important to us. Also, not judging ourselves harshly, not looking at ourselves and thinking, oh, I'm wrong, or oh, I did something terrible, or oh, I can't move forward in the way that I love, in the way that I want. That's not true at all. It's embracing what you desire. It's being highly creative, and it's birthing forward what you deeply want into the world. And that's going to be a very powerful thing. It's a very liberating thing, but it's also very scary. There's also a fear of being judged negatively by others that we need to acknowledge. There's a sense of, well, I don't care what other people think, but then there's also a sense of, well, I really do care what other people think. So we have that push and pull here during this time. With the Queen of Pentacles reversed, we may not be presenting ourselves as prosperously as we want to be. Okay, we can be feeling a little blue, a little upset. There is a need to it's like take care of you. Take care of you. That's going to be so important to make sure that you are, you know, just when you look in the mirror, it's like, okay, I look good. That I just see that as being so important, Cancer. It's not vain. It's not, being self centered. It's just knowing that I need to feel good about myself and I need that energy to move me forward. Now, here we have our roots are being questioned. Now, it can be ancestrally, it can be karmically. We're questioning our way forward. Am I on track with what I was sent here to do in our lives? There's also a sense of, again, needing to connect with the heart. We're having a bit of a hard time, which seems very interesting to me, with that head in the heart conflict. And why this is interesting is because we're so heart based. Cancer, we're always seen as so heart based. And yet, you know, you're represented by the chariot in the major arcana. There's a level of head to that. There's a level of understanding and importance and, just really looking and seeing things that is so important because the chariot was the race car of its day. It was a tank, it was this great innovation that let people move so quickly, that required such skill, that also could wreak such havoc. So here there is a question of how do I move forward with that skill, with that knowledge, and still connect with my heart, still move forward in the way that I deeply desire and want. With strength, we have strong Leo energy coming forward, right? So we're very impacted by the sun. during this supermoon. And the sun is in Leo. We're in Leo season. And of course, strength is representative of Leo in the major arcana. We're going to find that we have allies that we hadn't expected. We're going to find that there is a passion to moving forward. But we're also going to find that there's a bit of an aggression to us. And Spirit is just showing me like a strength that you're going to kind of identify with more of a masculine strength. And there's almost a sense here of how do I step into this and not, well, this is the question that I'm getting. It's like, how do I step into this and not be a bully? And it's not saying that all men are bullies, and it's not saying that men are bullies, but people can be bullies. And the strength that you're stepping into, you're afraid that it's a bullying strength. If you keep yourself open to letting yourself shine, right? To letting the essence of your heart shine forward, to move forward in love, which we are challenging. We are having a challenge with during this time. This is a challenge for us to move forward in love and what we desire, to, really, really just say the door is open. The door is open to the way my angels, my spirit guides want me to move. That's going to be so beneficial to us. And yet, as Spirit said here, the door is open. We see certain doors closing and we're like, whoa, wait a minute. Why did this close? Why isn't this moving me in the direction that I want? Why isn't it that I'm where I thought I was going to be? So there's something here that you think you're going to do, or you think you're going to go somewhere, or you have something planned. And I just literally hear a door slamming. It's like, nope, you're not doing that. And you're going to be ticked at this time. But the strength, and especially here, with the moving forward, with even completion of tasks that seem to be impossible, like absolutely impossible. I can't do this. And yet you're going to find, with openness, with honesty, with tenacity, you have allies in the most unbelievable of places. And then it brings us to, again, that door closing. There's a certain door that closes and you're going to be ticked because it's like, wait a minute, this was supposed to work, or this was supposed to open up so many opportunities, and it's not. And then the reaction is going to be, well, I'm just going to charge forward. And you're also going to have somebody around you who very much feels like any sort of movement, any sort of steps forward is way better than stagnation. And what Spirit is saying here is you need to get in touch with your voice. Working with your throat chakra is going to be so, so, so important. Getting in touch with your voice, getting in touch with your breath, calming things down, centering yourself, meditation before action is going to be really important. And it doesn't mean that we have to sit and, go into a meditation room and not get angry, not get frustrated. I'm just hearing like, oh, we meditate, we don't get angry. It's like, no, we can get angry, we can be frustrated, we can be overwhelmed, but we need to take those breaths. We need to focus on our heartbeat, on our lungs, on ourselves, and then we move forward. And we're going to see that things really, really, really change for us. There is a sense here, and it's going to be very easy to fall into impetuousness. Like that's what the supermoon brings out, because Aquarius, represented by the swords in the minor arcana, it can make us impetuous. It can make us, rather like, and just, it's a little crazy. It's like, how people say like, oh, the supermoon or the full moon brings out the crazy. If you ever go to a hospital during a full moon, they'll be like, oh my gosh, it's a full moon. It's absolutely crazy here. It brings out craziness. And so here, what we're going to find is that we can be a little bit reckless, a little bit more daring, a little bit like less thinking about the consequences. And because we're so in tune with the moon, we just have to be mindful about this. We just have to sit there and say, okay, I'm not being completely, I'm living in my heart, but it doesn't mean that I don't get to be logical about things. It doesn't mean that I don't think things through and understand consequences and look at things from all different angles. That's going to be really important, because there's either somebody around us egging us on, just be more daring, just go after this. And there's also the sense of like, of proving ourselves. You have nothing to prove to anyone. Be you. Be happy and contented with you, which, is a hard task. Let's see what Spirit has to say through the moon, or the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. angels, ooh, goodness, and spirit guides, angels, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. So what's interesting here is that as we awaken, we really start to realize, yes, luck is on my side. And we start to see changes. We start to see doors opening. We start to see that this moon is leading us in a direction that we really hadn't thought of before or thought could possibly be a part of us. There's also that link again to Sagittarius. Yeah, this is the full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the big picture. And as we look at the big picture, as we take aim, it brings a lot of change. It brings us then to a hunger. You know, here we have reverse, the energy is gaining momentum. It's not. We can feel like it's not that it's not gaining momentum, but we can feel that it's a little bit out of control. And when a chariot is out of control, that's a bad sign. It's like a car being out of control. So here, with the Knight of Cups reverse, as we're moving forward, we can feel not fully in control the way that we want to be, or not fully in control at all. So here, the energy around us is gaining momentum. It's not. We're trying to put on the brakes to things. We hunger. We are hungry for something during this time. There's a deep drive that is moving us forward. There's something within us that it's like, I have to achieve this. So understand, and I don't know exactly what it is, but understand during this time, you are deeply hungry. You are hungering, you are moving forward towards something very specific and very, very powerful. And you just feel driven. Excuse me. It moves us then to wisdom reversed, and it's time to release negativity reversed. We may not be feeling very wise, and we may be feeling, and we are feeling, we're not feeling very wise, and we are feeling that as we are moving forward, and because here, Rhiannon is who represents the Empress in the Llewellyn Tarot deck, she's the goddess of horses. So there is a movement forward. It's very interesting that we ourselves, represented by the cups and the minor arcana, feel like we cannot rein in the horse. And yet the queen of horses, like the goddess of horses, is showing up, telling us, oh, yes, you can. You're feeling out of control. You're not out of control. So be aware of that. It's more of a connection with your heart. It's more of a connection with what you love, with what you desire, with healing, with being non judgmental. That's so important to us. So even though we don't feel wise, we are. Even though we don't want to release the negativity, we're thinking, oh, this is fueling me. It's fueling us, but in a very negative way, a way that makes us feel stuck, stagnant, and less than. And that's not appropriate for us. Protection. This moon is protecting us, even though we can feel like there's a lot of financial changes that are happening, or that we're not in vibration, correct vibration, with energy, insight, and ideas towards things to move forward. And it also says here, it's time to take action. We are definitely taking action. This is a time where we are protected. It's time to take action to know that the goddess of horses is with us. And even though we feel our energy is out of control, if we slow things down, if we, focus our breath, connect with our breathing, connect with our heart, connect with what we love, we are going to see that there has actually been a disconnect between our head and our heart. And the things that we thought we were on this earth to achieve, or the way that we thought things were going to go, it's going to move quite differently. And that's not a bad thing. We're going to think, oh no, it's bad. It's not. It's not bad at all. Will we trust this moon and let it show our strength and let the reflection of the sun's light, bathe down on us? The sun is so important to us during this time. And it says here adjustments are required, and they are. Will we make those adjustments to let this moon fully shine within us, fully guide us forward, fully have us embracing what we desire? And that's a question for us to ask. We don't have really clear boundaries, and that's going to be something when the door closes. There's going to be something about like not having clear boundaries that's really going to affect us, and the answers we need are coming. We may never know why this door closed, but if we accept it, if we say, okay, door closed, that's not the way I'm going to be moving forward, got that, we're going to be seeing ourselves change in a very powerful way and in a very beautiful way. But we need to work on boundaries during this time as well. And then it brings us again to action. And it says here, you are good enough. So with the Knight of Swords. It's just a very reckless energy. And we could be thinking, oh, I just need to change things because I'm not enough. You are good enough. Write that everywhere. You are enough. What you bring to the table is enough. I was listening to somebody and they were going through a grieving process. And they said, if you wake up and you only have 20% to give and you're giving that 20%, that's enough. You're doing enough. And I thought that was so beautiful because we always think, oh, I should be doing more. I should be pushing more. I should be going after more. It's like, no, if you can give what you have to give at that time, even if it's not 100%, that's okay. You are enough. And there is power within you. So embracing that, understanding that, is just going to be so absolutely beautifully important to us. You are enough. Write that. Write that everywhere. You are enough. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups reversed. And the Four of Cups reversed, we're very much focused on what we want to be focused on. We're looking at things and we're trying to make things fit our narrative, our world, ourselves. And that's human. And we're really ignoring spirit during this time. So just be aware. Just be aware that divinity is trying to lead us a different way. Divinity is trying to open up a door to a different world, a different understanding, a different way of seeing things, connecting with things. And we're very resistant to this subconsciously. Our subconscious message from spirit is adventure. We want an adventure. We do. We want an adventure, even though we find it very hard to move forward during this time. We can feel stuck. We can feel overwhelmed. Too many different ideas are coming our way. We want an adventure. We long for an adventure. It brings us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the High Priestess. You have the High Priestess and the Empress, just beautiful, sacred, feminine energy moving us forward. The High Priestess is the veil being lifted from our eyes. It's also connecting with the heart energy so powerfully, but it's seeing what isn't there. Cancer, you have an ability to see what isn't there. And it's very easy when you were very little to have been overwhelmed by this and shut it off. You can see an awakening during this time. You can see yourself, embracing your sixth sense. You can see yourself, really connecting with spirit and finding the spiritual, the metaphysical to be so important to you, or even, orthodoxy religions to be so important to you during this time, because it's letting you see, it's letting you connect, it's letting you move forward in ways that you hadn't imagined. The High Priestess subconsciously is telling you, trust your gut instinct, listen to yourself. There's power within you. And we're learning how to tap into that. Our subconscious spirit message, Luna message, is conclusions are within reach, but we have to surrender, and we're having a hard time with that. Surrender is reversed. We're having a hard time surrendering to the power of the moon, just even to any power that isn't our own. So during this time, there's a question, there's a sense of, can I move forward in surrender? Can I find the conclusions, the understanding, the wisdom, if it means having to let go of things, or if it means not knowing for a little bit certain things, certain aspects of my life, or, not having that clear road forward all the time. All right. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time, of this supermoon, and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and have a blessed supermoon. Bye.